Okay, I'm going to teach this calculator style. There's a couple things you need to do. You see a division line, you need to get the top and the bottom parenthesized. And then if you have any roots, you need to figure those out, okay? Alright, so we don't have any, so I'm ready to roll. Parentheses 21.3, close parentheses, divide by parentheses 7.2 to the power of 3. Plus parentheses 14.4 plus 2.2, close it, raise it to the second, boom, 275.62. Parentheses, parentheses, that radical's not going to cut it, okay? But it's an easy radical to get rid of because it's 5. So 5. So we got 0.360. You should not be into these marathon things. You should not be trying to enter radicals along with stuff, okay? 3.16. Okay, now we have a radical. Okay, so first off, I see the big, so what I do, inside, I circle what's under the radical, and I write it off to the side. Now you treat that as its own separate problem. What did I tell you about a division line? Put it in parentheses, okay? Divided by parentheses 6 point. This is a good skill to have, actually. It might seem like I'm showing it the slacker way, but you need to, knowing how to enter this correctly. Now, you now come up here, put your 1.06, and then you can find the square root of that. So second square root, 1.06. 1.03, you can put that on top because the radical is gone. So I take 23.67 minus 1.03 times 0.9, 22.74. Oh, radical, don't like that, okay? So, I write what's in the radical and figure out that. $712.82. Okay, so that's inside. Now let's get rid of the radical. So second square root, 712.82. 26.70. Radical gone. Now remember what I told you, that's a big long division line. You need to put parentheses around the top and the bottom, and now we're ready to roll. Parentheses 81.67 to the second, divided by 27.70, close parentheses, then I hit the division key, move to the bottom. 4.072 minus 6.07 times 0.065. Close it. 65.48. Slick as snot. Okay. Now you get some applications. You'll see these formulas in the applications. You need to find the length of AB. This has to do with the Pythagorean theorem. You'll see it on a picture. So AC is 134.56 to the second. BC is 124.27 to the second. Okay, in the radical, we have 134.56 squared plus 124.27 squared. Punch that in. All calculator. Knowing how to do order of operations on your calculator is an important skill to have. Okay, so I cross that out and I put 33,549.43. Then I'm finding the square root. So you got to remember to find the square root though. Okay, 183.17. Okay, that's the only thing I have. That's your answer. Okay, next problem. C equals capital D 0.85 over 2 minus 0.5 times square root 4 capital D divided by 2. So it's going to be 0.85 over 2, and that's in a parentheses because the second power is raised after the division. Okay? Minus f to the second, still under the square root, 0.32 to the second. We're going to get rid of that. Okay? Also parenthesize. Remember what I told you about division lines. Don't not do it. 4 times parentheses 0.85 over 2 to the second minus 0.32 to the second. Now I'm not going to parenthesize this division line because there's a bigger parentheses outside. Okay? 4, I don't need to needlessly add them to the problem. 0.85 divided by 2. And then outside the parentheses is where we raise it to the second. Minus 0.32 to the second. Okay, so I cross that out. I've got 7,224.90, and then I find the square root of that. $84.9. Okay, that's going to go to 85. 85 even. Put that on top because that radical's now gone. And now I'm ready to do the rest on the calculator. Okay, so I have 0.85, close it, divided by 2, close it, minus 0.5 times 85. Wait a second, I do that right. I might have forgot somewhere I wrote this. Hopefully not. That does not seem right at all. Let's see if I punch this in right. Four times parentheses 0.85 divided by 2 raised to the second power minus 0.32 raised to the second power. Yeah, I did that totally wrong. I don't know what the heck I hit, but it's 0.62. Not 7,000 whatever. Now I find the square root of 0.62. 0.79. So instead of 85, 0.79. Now I roll again. Sorry about that. Wasting your time. 0.85, close it, divide by 2, close it, minus 0.5 times 0.79. That's better. 0.03. Gosh, I can't wait till my parents can get their cats from my house. God. All right, next problem. You got this big long equation here. Now I forgot to give you values for it. D equals 11.4, H is 1.5, L is 2.6. So V equals. That's a noise. This stupid cat's one of the cats' point that my parents left with me while they went on a trip is. Okay, h to the second, 1.5 to the second over 3 times square root capital D 11.4 divided by h 1.5 minus 0.608, and then outside the square root you got your L 2.6. Well, first you parenthesize your ratios and that one, okay? Then you circle what's under the radical and evaluate what's inside. Okay. Alright, so parentheses 11.4 divided by parentheses 1.5 divided by 0.608. 12.5. Double check that, make sure it's right. Yep, so 12.5. Then I need to evaluate the square root of 12.5. Okay, 3.54. Now I'm ready to rock and roll. So parentheses 4 times 1.5 to the second, close it before you divide, by 3, times 3.54 times 2.6, 27.61. Okay, easy problems here, no radicals involved. K, 3,000 times capital A, 8.6. TD is a single variable, 7.2. It's like a line segment. 60 times lowercase d, 0.053. Please put the parentheses on top and bottom of the division line. You don't have any radicals, so you're pretty much ready to go. Divide by parentheses 60 times 0.053. Okay, 58,415.09. And H equals that. Okay, next one, what does A equal? Well, capital H is going to be 130,000. Lowercase d, that's going to be 0.084, and then K, 1500, TD, 34. Okay, parentheses, no roots, so I'm ready to roll. Parentheses 60 times 130,000 times 0.084, close it, divide by parentheses 1500 times 34. 12.85. Okay. Next one. Next one's kind of a weird one. It's total resistance and it's an electrical circuit. So you're finding what RT equals. 1 and then 1 over 6.25 plus 1 over 2.3 because that's R2 plus 1 and then 1 over 0.5 plus 1 over 4.2 plus 1 over 0.6. Now, your division lines, you have a big division line and then little ones. You only put a parentheses on top and bottom. Don't parenthesize those separately. We're using the parentheses for the big and the little. Using it for the little ones within the big one overcomplicates the problem. And I'm probably going to mess up on my calculator. Now, I punch this in, parentheses 1, close it, divided by, parentheses. You can't do the ABC, you need to use the divided by sign. It will not let you ABC decimals. Plus 1 divided by 2.3. Then I close it. Plus parentheses 1 divided by parentheses 1 divided by 0.5. Plus 1 divided by 4.2. Plus 1 divided by 0.6. Close it. 1.94. That's RT, what it equals. So again, once we use the parentheses here, don't use it again. Just use divided by operations right there. Okay, next one. A patient often needs to be weaned off a powerful drug like, I'm not even going to embarrass myself and try to read that. Okay, one of you might know what it is. Here is one possible way to wean a patient off a drug over a 2-week period. So 2 weeks, 50, every 3 days, they down the dosage. It goes down. And also eventually the times you take it per day goes down. What's total dosage for the first 3 days? Now, so you take 0.02. You're taking it 3 times a day, but you're taking it for 3 days. So I multiply those and I get 0.18 grams. Total dosage for day 1, well, it'd be 0.01 times 3. You can times by 1 if you want, because I just want day 1, but it's 0.06 grams. What's a decrease in dosage between day 1 and day 14? Decrease means I take day 1 minus day 14. Now day 1, we get 0.02 grams, but I take it 3 times a day. Minus day 2, or day 14, my bad, would be 0.000125, which is 125 tenths, 100,000, 10,000, 125 millionths. But I'm only taking it twice a day. Okay? So do your operations. Everybody knows you'd multiply before subtracting, but the calculator knows that too. 0.06. Okay, then the D. Get ready to write some things. What's the total dosage of the full 14-day period? Well, we got 0.02 3 times a day, but for 3 days. Plus 0.01 3 times a day for 3 days. Plus 0.005 for 3 times a day for 3 days. Plus 0.0025 2 times a day for 3 days, so times 2 times 3, or you could just times that by 6 if you wanted to. Plus 0.000125 times 2 times 3. Start rolling it. Just don't make a mistake. Don't get butterfingers like I just did. Fortunately, I go back and fix it. Plus 0.0025 times 2 times 3 plus 0.000125 times 2 times 3. 0.33.